After all the snow we had the last few days, I figure I better get out for my walk good and early while the driveway is still frozen. Otherwise, it's going to be a muddy mess. In the last video, I think I said we had 41 inches. I saw another report today said 44 and a half. So either way, that's a lot of snow. On the plus side, our road has been plowed, so we will be able to get out if we need to. Now, the first video that I ever posted here on YouTube was probably 14 years ago. That means I would have been 52 years old. The reason I'm thinking about that is lately I have seen a lot of YouTube videos featuring on the over 40 YouTuber and why you should start a channel if you're over 40. Now, personally, I don't think everybody over 40 needs to run out and start a YouTube channel, but a lot of people are interested, and it seems to be a popular topic, so I thought I would offer my 2 cents worth today and tell you about some of my experiences. Now, that first video, what did I say, 14 years ago, so it would have been 52, is terrible. It's not a serious effort to do YouTube. I only posted a few. That channel is long gone. About 10 years ago, I started another YouTube channel, and it was just to post little iPhone videos because I had an iPhone that would take videos. What do you do with them? You post them on YouTube. So it was really only about 7 years ago that I started taking YouTube seriously and started looking at it as a way to expand my business and as a business asset for my blacksmith shop. Speaking of the blacksmith shop, I think I'll go ahead and light the propane forge and let it start heating up while I go for my walk. It usually takes about 20 to 30 minutes for it to get up to heat anyways. Well, that should make it more pleasant to get to work later this morning, so I'll be glad I did that. Don't want to leave it too long. No need to waste propane. So why would you start a YouTube channel as you get a little bit older, 40, 50, 60? No reason you can't start one when you're 60 or 70 if that's what you're interested in. But I think there needs to be a why attached to it, not just a, gee, I guess I'll start YouTube because somebody else said I ought to. Now, while YouTube can be a source of income, for most people, that's really difficult to do. Some people do make a very good living making YouTube videos. Some people make an obscenely good living making YouTube videos. But those are the exceptions, not the rule. The vast majority of people making YouTube videos are never going to make very much money at it. And it probably takes a year or two of serious commitment before you start making any money at all, if that's your goal. I think a better reason for doing YouTube is simply to stay connected with the world. Our families are separated more now than they used to be. Used to be everybody kind of lived in the same general area within an hour or two of each other. Now people are clear across country, sometimes even in other continents around the world. And making YouTube videos is a good way for your children, your grandchildren, cousins, aunts, uncles, just your friends and random acquaintances to know what you're up to see what your life is really like. You can make videos about your day, a classic vlog style video. While those may not be the most popular thing on YouTube, it's a good way to stay connected with people. And I think that may be the best reason for doing YouTube. Plus it keeps you connected with yourself. Sounds a little confusing, but a lot of times I go back to 2 or 3 year old videos and say, oh yeah, I remember that trip. I remember that snowstorm. I remember building this project. And you get to see it again and relive those memories. It's kind of an online photo album or home movies these days, and it can be really useful for that. Plus, it's a creative outlet. It allows you to use your imagination, learn some new skills, learn some things that you may not have been able to do before, figure out how to use cameras and microphones, what lighting needs to be like. All of that kind of stuff can be an interesting diversion as we get older and we don't have to hustle so much in our daily lives. Maybe you have some unique talent or skill that you'd like to share with people. Most of my YouTube videos are on the other channel, the Black Bear Forge channel. They're about blacksmithing. Now, blacksmithing is pretty popular, so that channel performs very well. And as a result, I do make some income from that channel, but I'm also able to help people with their journey in blacksmithing, people who are just getting started, share some tricks and tips and some ideas with people of all levels of blacksmithing that find my videos interesting. So if you're a woodworker, a potter, a knitter, a weaver, photographer, writer, poet, whatever it is, maybe you've got something you can share with the world and you can help educate people. And maybe you recognize that a younger generation isn't learning some of the skills that we learned when we were younger, like how to change a flat tire, change your oil, tune up a lawnmower, all that kind of stuff. And you know how to do that stuff? Maybe that's worth sharing with the world, even if it's never going to be a real big YouTube channel. That stuff has value to somebody. And that's the key to YouTube, is people have to find value in the content you're creating if you want your channel to grow. If it's just to stay connected with friends and family, that's not quite as important. They're the only ones that have to find value in it. The rest of the world doesn't really need to. Now, YouTube videos generally add value to people's lives one of three ways. It educates them, like blacksmithing videos or woodworking videos. It entertains them, so if you've got some sort of a skill, you play music, you juggle, you just tell good jokes, or maybe you just provide information for people that provides value to them. The news, you summarize world news so they don't have to go find all the sites. Just make sure you're being accurate if you're providing information. Nobody needs more misinformation or propaganda these days. Now, in an ideal world, your videos are doing 2 or 3 of those things, and that'll make them a little bit more popular. More people will be interested in them. Again, you have to define the why and what your goals are with YouTube. Sometimes I got to stop talking and watch where my feet are going because there's still a lot of ice out here. Now, personally, I think starting a YouTube channel at any point in life, 40, 50, 60, whatever, is probably worth it if you have the time and the inclination to do it. It's a good creative outlet. And as long as you don't quit your regular job to become a full-time YouTube influencer, which is likely to be a bad idea, it's probably worth doing that. The sun is coming out. My light is getting really weird depending on whether I'm in sun or in shadows. And the driveway is going to start going from frozen to mud really quickly here. So I'm going to put the camera down, finish my walk.